1, 2, 3, funk it!
Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. With the beginning of the new year, I wanted to take a look back on the last year with my reading, and for that I need the help of my phone. So I guess we will start with Goodreads, because I think StoryGraph is more interesting, so we will do that second. So let's go to 2022 in books. I've read around 10,245 pages and I read 32 books. My shortest book was Nocturnal by Wilder with 88 pages, and my longest book was The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue by V.E. Schwab with 591 pages. Average book length was 320 pages. Most shelved 3,700,031. 504 people also shelved Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief. At the least shelved was Freddie Mercury, A Legendary Voice by Ernesto Asante. Only 74 people also shelved it. My average rating for 2022 was 4.2, which isn't too bad. And highest rated on Goodreads, like it should be, is Know My Name by Chanel Miller with a 4.78 average rating. And my first review of the year was from Self-Love Poetry by Melody Godfred. I gave that 3 stars and my rating was, for a book that is supposed to be repetitive, this still was a little too repetitive for me. It has some important messages to offer, but they lose weight if you hear them too often repeatedly. And now let's look at all of the books I read. I must admit I don't really understand why some are big. I thought it is because of the 5 stars, but I see 5 stars that aren't big. I'm also not sure if if it counted correctly, because I read Heartstopper sometimes in German and in English, and I'm not sure if it counted both. My last review of the year was from Verity by Colleen Hoover, and my review went like this. First up, check trigger warnings, please. I don't know how to recover from this book. It was a traumatizing roller coaster. There's no happy beginning, happy middle, or happy end. The book was good, but there's nothing good about it. I couldn't stop reading it, and at the same time, wanted it to end immediately. This was my first Colleen Hoover book, and if her other books, her romances, are like that too, please go to therapy. I don't care who exactly, just go to therapy. And I've had a reading goal of 20 books. I read 32, so I read 160%. Congratulations, you're really good at reading, and probably a lot of other things too. Thank you! And now, let's see what StoryGraph has to tell us. So, 2022. My reading wrap-up, let's look at that first. Congratulations on a fantastic reading year. Thank you. You finished reading 32 books across 10,171 pages. My first book was Love Virtually, I think it's called in English, and my last book was Verity by Colleen Hoover. Your 2022 StoryGraph, a mood map of your reading. Lighter books push the line up and darker books pull the line down. Okay, so I read darker books at the beginning of the year and lighter ones later on in the year. How do they even decide that? That's an interesting thing to see. You felt all the feels, kept it light, and reflected on ideas. And the stories unfolded at breakneck speed. Books and pages read per month in 2022. In January, I guess I read, but I didn't finish a book. In February, I read 4 books. In March, didn't finish a book, didn't even read. In April, I finished 1 book. In May, 9 books. Okay then. June 6 books. July 1 book. In August 6 books. September 1 book. October 2 books. November 1 and December 1 book. Congratulations on meeting your reading goal. 160%. The genres you spent the most time with in 2022. Contemporary with 12. Young adult with 12, LGBTQIA+ with 11, romance with 9, and fantasy with 7. My longest book was The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue by V.E. Schwab with 592 pages, and the shortest book with 88 pages was Nocturnal by Wilder Poetry. That's pretty much the same as in Goodreads. The average length of the books you read was 320 pages, and it took you around 15 days to finish each book, which I must admit that sounds right, because I take a while to finish a book. The least time spent reading self-love poetry for thinkers and feelers, 1 day, and the most days or most time spent, 79 days, Nocturnal by Wilder Poetry. Isn't that kind of funny? That's the shortest book and it took me the longest. The authors you spent the most time with in 2022. 8 books from Alice Oseman, 2 books from Rick Riordan, and 2 books from Naomi Novik. My average rating was 4.14 stars. Looks like you know how to pick him. Oh, now we can see my 5 stars. Should I talk through them? I mean, half of it is Heartstopper anyways. Then Scholomance, that's a series. That's A Deadly Education from Naomi Novik. Percy Jackson, it's a series as well. I Just Like Queen, so there's a Freddie Mercury book. Homebody, another poetry. Know My Name, very important memoir. Then All That's Left in the World by Eric J. Brown, a very good gay dystopia book. And Afterlove, a very emotional lesbian love story. And Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. Yeah, these are all. I don't know, they look so. I thought there would be more. I don't know. 16 5 stars. Now that I've counted it, it sounds a lot better. Because 60 from 32 isn't that little. Your 2022 ratings. I have 1 2 stars. I don't remember what it was, but maybe we will see it later. 9 3 stars, 1 3.5, 5 4 stars, and 16 5 stars. So I guess I wouldn't even have needed to count it. But anyways, some months were better than others. July. Highest average rating, 5 stars. Turns out April wasn't your favorite month, with an average rating of 3 stars. But I believe I only read 1 book in July, right? Yes. So I don't know if you can really count it like that, but I guess they can't count it otherwise, because I've only read 1 book. In August, I had the most pages read with 2,261 pages. Other StoryGraph users and your 2022 reads. Most shelved was The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue by V.E. Schwab from 2,850,810 users. I'm not good at English numbers, if you can't tell. Least shelved, only 2 users. Freddie Mercury, A Legendary Voice. And the highest rated, Freddie Mercury, A Legendary Voice. You explored the works of 20 new authors, including Tanya Burney, Stephen Chbosky, and Poetry of Demand. Perfect. I mean, it's good that I explored more works, but it's exactly the names I'm not sure if I'm saying right. 15 of the books you read were part of a series. You revisit a total of 2 books this year. You finished all of the books you picked up this year. No DNFs. You read 8 books from your own shelves this year. Well, that's a success. I like that information. And now my 2022 at a glance. How nice. And now explore your 2022 stats. That's what we're doing now. So my reading goal was 20 books, which I didn't meet. with even 12 books more than I had planned, which brings us to 160%. Now, 32 books, 10,458 pages. My main mood was emotional with 18, then lighthearted with 10, reflective with 9, funny with 7, hopeful with 6, dark with 6, adventurous with 6, mysterious with 5, tense with 4, sad with 4, inspiring with 2, and then I guess sad and relaxing is 1 book. Pace, 52% fast, 38% medium. This stat never makes that much sense to me, because even a fast book can be slow for me. Because is a book really fast if you still take 10 days to finish it? Just saying. Page number, 53%, 300 to 499 pages, 31% under 300 pages, and only 6% over 500 pages. And then fiction and non-fiction, I read 81% fiction and 90% non-fiction. My genres are young adult, contemporary, LGBTQIA+, romance, fantasy, graphic novel, thriller, poetry, mystery, middle grade, memoir, speculative fiction, classics, science fiction, psychology, play, horror, and historical. Format, 81% print and 90% digital, because I discovered digital this year and ebooks, which was a very nice discovery. And 1 book doesn't have a format. Well, that's also print. It was a hardcover. And then most read authors: Alice Oseman, Daniel Gladauer, Naomi Novik, and Rick Riordan. I read 56.3% in German and 33.8% in English. I think it's kind of impressive that it's almost 50-50. I like that. Then number of books and pages. We already discussed that, but I will let you have a last look at it, I guess. Then my star rating. I wanted to look what the 2 stars are. Oh, yes, okay. Now I remember. Excuse me? Wanna go back? Okay, now I went back completely. So, average rating still 4.14 stars. We also already discussed that. So, I guess that brings me to the end of the stats. But there's one more thing I wanna do, because I haven't done it yet. Although it's already the 6th of January, but I thought I would bring you along when I do it, if I find out how to do it. Here it is. You have read 0 books this year. Set up reading goal for 2023. Let's do that. And I know I've managed to read 30 books this year, but I think I'm still settling with 20. So set a reading goal. Great job, you're right on track. That's nice to hear. And now let's also do that for my Goodreads, because it's annoying me all the time with it anyways. And again, we're doing 20. And this one tells me I should read 1.5 books per month for the rest of the year to accomplish my challenge. Okay, that's also good information. But now, that really does bring me to the end of this video. I hope it was interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next.